Just $400, and the chair of the NTSB says it could have prevented last year's tragic midair collision over the Potomac. Today, a Senate committee held a hearing about the findings of the NTSB's year-long investigation, including the crucial role one piece of equipment could have played. And as our Tom Rousey was the only local TV reporter there, he joins us live now on Capitol Hill to tell us more about that device. Tom?
Yeah, Michelle, this hearing was at the Russell Senate office building. We heard from senators, but we also heard from family members of the victims of Flight 5342 last year. All of them called on the U.S. House of Representatives to join the Senate in requiring this $400 device that the NTSB chair says would have prevented last year's tragedy.
The question before us is how many more people need to die before we act.
NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy told a Senate committee Thursday that if this device called ADS-B had been installed in American Eagle Flight 5342 last year, the pilots would have gotten an alert 59 seconds before a collision with an Army Black Hawk helicopter.
They could have told ATC we're going around. We're not going to do this landing.
Sherry Lilly is the stepmother of Flight 5342 co-pilot Sam Lilly. He did not receive that alert because, like many commercial jets, the American Eagle plane did not have ADS-B in.
Having that extra minute would have given them time to make a better informed decision about how to respond, and they would have been able to navigate to evade that collision.
She and others called on the U.S. House to join the Senate in passing the ROTOR Act, which would require ADS-B in devices for planes and helicopters flying in busy areas like D.C. The NTSB has been calling for such a requirement for almost 20 years.
When safety recommendations just sit on a shelf collecting dust, people's lives are lost. And that's why my brother's not here today.
If the ROTOR Act had been the law at the time of this accident, would the accident have occurred?
No, it wouldn't have occurred.
Interestingly, the night of the collision, the Black Hawk helicopter used by the Army actually did have an ADS-B in device, but it wasn't hooked up in such a way that they could hear an alert from it in their headsets. The NTSB says they would have gotten an alert 48 seconds before the collision. Michelle?
Yeah, really chilling to know something relatively inexpensive could have saved so many lives. Tom, you said the Senate already passed a bill requiring the devices that show pilots where other aircrafts are. Is there any indication if the House will pass it as well?
Well, so far the House hasn't really taken any action since December. We did reach out to the office of House Speaker Mike Johnson today to ask, are you going to bring this up for a vote soon? At least so far, they have not gotten back to us. Reporting live outside the U.S. Capitol, Tom Rousey, 7 News.